Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning, guys. Man, I'm actually excited because today me and Mike have to go out and rip out a bathroom. You remember the house that I did the kitchen and we ended up putting in the walk-in bathtub? Well, we've got to actually take a cast iron bathtub out. Cast iron bathtub out and take off some of that old tile. You know, back when they built it with the plaster and the lath and everything else and cement. Yeah, we gonna go get dirty. This is gonna be a dirty job, but it's gonna be rewarding. And I'm actually looking forward to actually doing some work away from the home. So I'm excited about that. But we sit right now 7 days away from time being up for the Dak Prescott extension being done. Um, don't know if there's any movement currently right now. Have no idea what the Dallas Cowboys are thinking and so on. And we sit 67 days, 12 hours, 15 minutes, and 55 seconds away from kickoff, hopefully against the LA Rams in September. It's not a lot of time. And now we only have 20 days until training camp opens up. All of a sudden, things are beginning to happen really quick right now. I mean, before you know it, they will be in training camp. Um, One of the interesting things that's going on right now is the NFL is talking about wanting to hold 35% of the player's salary. When you say 35%, that doesn't sound like that much, but what we're actually talking about is $2.24 billion that the NFL is talking about holding on. Let me just hold that just in case we don't have a season or we need a little extra cash. $2.4 billion? You need to hold on to that much money? Okay. All right. If you can get away with it, owners, God bless you on that one. I'm not sure how the Players Association and the players feel about that one because they're the ones that are going to be going out there and risking getting COVID 19. But be that as it may, these are not typical times. Now, back to, of course, the elephant in the room, which, of course, is Dak Prescott's contract. Pat Mahomes' deal, technically, you can't look at it from 45 million a year basically is the average of the whole thing. You really need to look at this in the first 5 years. The way this thing is set up is um, basically it's a roster bonus after that 5 years. That if the Chiefs decide to keep him, he gets a big, 20+ million dollar roster bonus plus his salary and things like that. For the Chiefs, this was a great deal because basically this year and next year, you're only paying him what you basically were paying before. His deal only raised their salary cap or reduced it by $30,000. And it's actually amazing when you look at this right now, as Pat Mahomes' cap number is $5.3 million. And you got Frank Clark at 19. You got Tariq Hill at 17. You got Chris Jones at 16. You got Tyrann Matthews at 16. You got Eric Fisher at 14.9. You got Mitchell Schwartz at 10. You got Travis Kelce at 11. You got Anthony Hitchens. Anthony Hitchens. I didn't realize they were paying Hitch that much. God bless you, Hitch, man. You went from Dallas and you broke the bank. You're getting 12.6. And Sammy Watkins at 15. You talk about a top-heavy roster. The fact that you've got Sammy Watkins is 3 times what Pat Mahomes' deal is costing him is freaking unbelievable. So the question is, if you look at the first 5 years of that contract, the average is $39 million a year. So you look at Ryan Tannehill signing for 29. So that's now the new range of quarterback compensation, 29 to 39. Kirk Cousins, he got 2 more years out of his deal at 33 million. So you can kind of see, Jared Goff is 33, Carson Wentz is 33 and a half, Big Ben is 34, Aaron Rodgers is 33 and a half. Of course, Russell Wilson's at 35. So the question now is, does this structure change what Dak's doing? Do the Cowboys now turn around and say, we want a 10-year deal, which would probably drive some of you guys crazy? I don't know that the Cowboys and everything else would be looking for a 10-year deal at this point in anybody's career. The chances of a quarterback making it that long are not good. We saw Michael Vick sign $113 million. 113 was it? Or $130 million 10-year deal. And of course, he ended up having the dogfighting, and that deal, of course, never came to fruition. There's too many variables of where a player will be that long. And in fact, I believe after 5 years that more than likely this deal will be renegotiated. Or Pat Mahomes might say, you know what, I've had enough and I'll walk away. But now, between the Cowboys want a 5-year deal. Dak wants a 4-year deal, $35 million. So either the Cowboys go to that 4-year deal, keep that 35, and maybe they're good, or the Cowboys maybe have to, add a little bit more to the kitty, maybe get it up to say $37 million a year to kind of get between Russell Wilson and Pat Mahomes, and they get a deal done. The question is, will they, or will the Cowboys just go ahead and roll the dice and say, you know what, we're just going to hold to our guns. Either you sign the 5-year deal, or we'll just play in a franchise tag. I don't know. I really and truly don't know. And the thing that still mystifies me is Jerry Jones. This has to be the longest period in history that we've heard nothing from Jerry Jones. He's got players calling him out. Don Terry Poe says, I'm going to be kneeling. Gerald McCoy said he'd like to get the support of Jerry Jones and the Cowboys behind him because he's going to be kneeling. And since we already have people that are going to be kneeling, this might not be a bad time to revisit the idea of Eric Reid, who is still out there. Now, we've talked about the possibility of trading a number 1 pick for Jamal Adams. Of course, we've heard that, Michael Gallup or La'el Collins might need to go into the deal, or another pick, that we would literally be getting picked apart by the Jets because the Jets want more from us because they feel like we screwed them over than anybody else. But I don't see anybody else biting. That's a lot to give up for one player. Talk about a pick and a player. I'm not on board for that. But Eric Reid actually had better numbers than Jamal Adams last year, and he's currently a free agent. You can sign him for less money than you can Jamal Adams. You can hold on to him for 1 year. If he plays great, great. You let him walk, you get a compensatory pick. If he plays great and you decide we want to keep him, and you sign him to a long-term deal. That is a win-win, low-risk opportunity. Jamal Adams, that's a high risk. I don't know that you're going to get a high reward. So we still have a bit of work to do between now and training camp, which is less than 3 weeks away. I just have no clue as to what the Dallas Cowboys are doing, are planning on doing, and what they're going to do. One final note this morning, man. Mike Golic. In fact, we were listening to his show yesterday morning, Mike. Now that I have Sirius Satellite in the new truck. Mike Golic, his show is being canceled on ESPN. And this is one of those things that mystifies me because Mike Golic has been working for them since 1998. And he was part, of course, Mike and Mike, which was one of the best, most successful shows there for a while, especially on radio. Of course, the two of them kind of didn't get along, and Mike Golic started a show with Trey Wingo. And Mike Golic is one of those guys that, he's lovable, and he has a lot of direct knowledge about the NFL. And for ESPN to can him, it all goes with the narrative of them just basically trashing and just losing what they used to be. And it saddens me because when ESPN came out, ESPN was the standard bearers. ESPN was the first 24-hour sports station. When they came about, when they first talked about it, we couldn't believe, how could you have sports talking 24 hours a day? There's not that much sports. But it used to be that what they showed you, you could believe. But what they've turned into now, Mm. It's so far away from what they used to be. And Mike Golic, I salute you. Now, with that being said, we got to get the truck loaded up here because we got a bathroom to demo out. I'm Mark Holmes, and of course, if we have any news on the Dallas Cowboys, we'll be sure to bring it to you. I'll see you soon.